How's it going, guys? I'm John, and in this video we're going to take a look at the new Heaterz Evo heated grips from Oxford. First, we'll talk about what has changed with the Heaterz Evo heated grips, and then we'll take a closer look at the parts and components that come with this set. I'll have a separate video showing a detailed installation process. Oxford has been making some really highly regarded heated grips for quite a while, but there's basically one big change with their new Heaterz Evo heated grips, and that's that each of the grips now has a temperature sensor built in, and there's an updated controller that can get information back from those temperature sensors to help regulate the temperature of the grips. With earlier systems like the Oxford premium heated grips, the controller basically sends the same power to each grip, and you might end up with temperature disparities. So there's really three key benefits, I think, of having this new Evo system that has feedback from the temperature sensors. And the first is that you get even temperature for both grips. So with some heated grip systems, the grips can actually end up being different temperatures. And one big reason for that is your left grip on the throttle side, the grip is mounted directly to your metal clip-on or your metal handlebar, and that acts like a heat sink that can draw a lot of heat out of the grip. Whereas on the right side, on the throttle side, the grip is insulated from the handlebar because it's on a plastic throttle tube, and then there's an air gap between that and then the actual metal handlebar or clip-on. And so sometimes you'll see the left grip on a heated grip system doesn't get anywhere near as warm as the right grip. And I've also heard reports that sometimes the left grip gets way too hot, and I think that's because some companies might try to compensate for that by delivering more power to the left grip. With this system, you set what temperature you want on the controller, and then the controller moderates the power to get both grips up to that temperature. So that's the first benefit. The second benefit is that it will get the grips up to your desired temperature more quickly because it gives each grip 100% of the power until it gets the temperature, and then it regulates each grip from there. So for example, if you want to set this at maybe the halfway temperature setting, it'll still give it 100% of the power to get the grips up to temperature as quickly as possible, and then it'll back off and just regulate the grips at the temperature that you've selected. And then the last benefit is that it will help prevent damage to the grips or to your bike by overheating. So if you're in a situation where you have the heated grips on and then maybe you park the bike in a warm garage or something like that, and you leave them on or you leave the bike running, there's a potential that the grips could overheat because now you don't have the airflow blowing over them to help keep them cool. But what this will do, because it has those temperature sensors, it'll see that the grips are going over their set temperature, and then it'll back the power down and keep the temperature steady so that there won't be any damage to the grips or to your handlebar. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the components that come with the new Heaterz Evo grips. Here are all the parts that come with the Heaterz Evo heated grip system. Visually, it looks very similar to the prior version, the premium heated grips. I think the only thing that you could really tell looks different is the new controller. And so we'll start by taking a look at that. So this is the new controller, and basically what's different is rather than power levels on the side, it actually has a temperature range, and it goes from 95 degrees on the low end to 115 degrees on the high end, and then you can just move it up and down with these buttons on the side. And like the last version of this controller, it has the same auto-off functionality, so you can connect this directly to your battery, and it doesn't need to be wired to an ignition switch, and the controller can detect when your motorcycle is turned off. So even if you forget to turn the controller off, if you shut the bike off, the controller will detect that, and then it'll shut down the heated grips. All right, so here's what the grip looks like, and these are the touring model. And so like the premium grips, these come in a few different versions, and as far as I know, there's the touring, the adventure, and the sport. And really the major difference is just the length of each of those grips. And I'll have some information down in the description that talks about the minimum and maximum length for each of those different models. But for this touring grip, they are 120 millimeters long, and they can be shortened down either by trimming off just this rib on the edge or also this band on the side, because the heating element doesn't go all the way to the end. So you can trim these down. So when you're looking at which model to get, basically you just need to measure your current grips and then see which of the Oxford grips, whether it's the touring, the adventure, or the sport, has the appropriate size range to fit your current grips. I think there's also a minor difference in the grip pattern, but that's not something I would worry about. I would just choose the model based on the width of your existing grips. Visually, I think these look the same as the premium grips. You can't really tell that it's an updated model, but each grip does have that temperature sensor inside. Next, we'll take a look at all of the components that are included for the installation. First, they give you a bracket that can mount right on your clutch lever. So this part mounts where your clutch lever is mounted, and then the controller itself mounts up here. They also give you a sticky pad so that you can mount the controller just on any flat surface on the bike. There's also a little thing of super glue, so when you're putting the grips on, if you want to make sure that they don't slide at all, you can put a little super glue on there. And then there's also some zip ties to help clean up the cabling. And they include the power cable. And like I mentioned before, the controller has an auto off feature, so it can detect when the bike's not running and then automatically power down the heated grips. So this can be wired directly to the battery. So you would just connect these to the positive and negative terminals on the battery. There's an inline 5 amp fuse, and this whole system uses less than 4 amps, so it's not a lot of power. And then this plugs into the controller, and then the controller sends the power out to the grips. So everything that you need. And like I mentioned, I'll have a video coming up pretty soon where I go through step by step through the installation process on my Ninja 1000. So as always, thanks for watching, and let me know down below if you have any questions.